So, example, a motorcycle is stopped by the side of the road when a car passes at 50 miles per hour. 20 seconds later, the motorcycle starts chasing the car. Assume that the motorcycle accelerates at 8 feet per square second until it reaches 60 miles per hour and then travels at a constant speed. We're going to find the amount of time it will take the motorcycle to overtake the car and the total distance traveled by the motorcycle in that time. So, first is let's say, for example, we have this position of the motorcycle, the um, initial point where the motorcycle is stopped. And then suddenly there is a car that passes through this point reference of the motorcycle. Say, for example, here. So, as soon as it passes after 20 minutes, say, for example, this is the position after 20 minutes. So, let's have this one after 20 minutes. This is now the reference of 20 minutes. So, this is the time elapsed. Time 20 equal to 20 minutes, 20 seconds rather. Yeah, 20 seconds. So as soon as it reaches 20 seconds, meaning to say the car has traveled a certain distance from this point to this point. So let's call that as distance d1. So as soon as ni-travel na siya o distance d1, this motorcycle starts chasing the car. Okay, so let us try to get the distance traveled after 20 minutes by the car. So we have here the velocity of the car is 50 miles per hour. So let's try to converting velocity of the car. So this is velocity of the car. So this is 50 miles per hour, and we're gonna convert that in 1 mile. Oh no, here. In 1 mile, there are 5,280 feet distances. We're using feet because the acceleration is in feet per square seconds. So that would be 50 times 5280. Also, we're gonna convert the time in 1 hour. In 1 hour, there are 3,600 seconds. So pila na ihang velocity. So that's 50 times 5280 divided by 3,600. So that is 73.33 feet per second. And also, let's try to have Vm, or this is the velocity of the motorcycle when it reaches the top speed after Niyama reach using acceleration of 8 feet per square seconds. This is the velocity. According to problem, when it reaches after 8 acceleration, it reaches 60 miles per hour. So that's 60 miles per hour. So we're gonna multiply that with 5280 feet and divide it with 3,600 seconds. So that is 60 times 5280 divided by 3,600. That's 88 feet per second. Okay, that is the velocities. Okay, let us get the d1. Okay, so we have here d1. This is the distance traveled by car after 20 seconds. So that is moving at a constant speed. So distance is velocity. Yeah, we're gonna use the distance is velocity over time. Okay, or velocity times time. All right. So velocity is distance over time, then therefore the distance is velocity times time. So velocity of the car times the 20 seconds na time. So the D1 is 73.333. This is feet per second times the 20 seconds. So therefore the D1 is 73.333 times 20. That's 1466.667 feet. So the question here is pila kuno ang time nga na spend sa na spend sa motorcycle just to overtake the car. So kung sa nato iyahang instantaneous momentary nga mga points, no? So at this point naka-travel na ang car with 20 seconds. So this is the D1 already, and it measures 1466.667. So as soon as naka-travel siya with that time nga 20 seconds, kani si motorcycle ni start siya. So na siya initial velocity of 0, and due to acceleration nga 8 feet per square seconds, ma-reach niya ang final velocity nga 60 miles per hour. So we're gonna check kung asa na dapita. So let's copy this. So say for example na siya diha dapita somewhere. Okay, so this portion here, let's copy that. Okay, so here na-reach na niya ang iyang velocity, which is 88 miles per hour, meters per second. So we're gonna find this time here, time being elapsed. So pila na iyang time for that. So I'll call this as just the time. So pila na iyang time. I'll call that as time 1. So pila ko na iyang time. Okay. So smaller than t1 is the time elapsed during motorcycle acceleration. So we're gonna use the formula that the final velocity is equal to initial velocity plus minus acceleration times time, and the final velocity is 88 with initial velocity at 0. Then this is acceleration, so it's positive times the acceleration of 8, and the time is t1. So this is the time elapsed during acceleration of the motorcycle. So that's 88 divided by 8, that's 11 seconds. Okay, so as soon as ni travel og 11 seconds nga time ang motorcycle, then si car pod ni travel pod na siya og the same amount of time, no? Kay nag-una man ang car. So after ani, we're gonna use a time equal to 11 seconds, no? So I hope na follow ni ninyo. Remember that diri nag-start ang time 0 sa ato ang car, atong motorcycle. Then this is also the time 0 sa ato ang car, no? Motorcycle and the car. Then after t1, so meaning to say 11 seconds, mo travel pod ang car after this t1, no? Sakto ba nga Ni travel og T1 si car, I mean si motorcycle, ni travel pod og T1 si motor again, ni travel og T1 si motorcycle, ni travel pod og T1 si car. Kay mao man ni ang initial nga T0 and T0 ana niya kay as soon as naabot na siya diri with the time nga 20 seconds, nag-start naman si motorcycle to overtake or try to chase the car. So this T1 is 11 seconds, so therefore we need this distance. So I'll call this as distance number 2. So pila man na ang distance number 2 traveled by the car. So we're gonna solve. Distance 2 is distance traveled by car during time 1. Okay, so with the constant speed of the car, d2 is velocity times time, so that would be 73.333 times 11 seconds. Then d2 is 73.333 times 11. That's 806.663. So 806.663 feet. So that is the distance traveled by the um, car during 11 seconds. So this is 806.667 feet. Okay. Also, mo travel pod si motorcycle. So I'll call this as distance 3. So distance 3 is the distance traveled by motorcycle during T1. So pila man na siya. So pila man na iyang distance, or I mean yes, iyang distance. So it's going to be final velocity squared, and that's initial velocity squared, plus minus twice of the acceleration times the distance s. So final velocity is 88, initial velocity is 0, by the way, square that, and then this is acceleration, so that's positive 2 times the 8, and the distance here is d3. So d3 is how much? That's 88 squared divided by 2 times 8, so that's 484 feet. Okay, so that is the distance traveled. So at certain point, since naka-attain naman og 88 velocity ang car, I mean ang motorcycle, then it would be a constant velocity until iyahang ma-overtake ang vehicle or ang car, no? Si motorcycle. Diba niingon siya? 20 seconds later, the motorcycle starts chasing the car. Assume that the motorcycle accelerates at 8 feet per square seconds until it reaches 60 miles per hour and then travels at a constant speed, find the amount of time it will take the motorcycle to overtake the car. Okay, so mao na siya. This is the final phase. From this point here, this is, I'll call this as distance 4, no? Para kanang distance 4 mo po na siya mo equate, or mo sad na siya maka-complete para mo travel sad si motorcycle until that phase. Ato sang erison here. So this is the final phase where the motorcycle tries to overtake the car. So here is the distance. This is the distance, 5. Okay, so what is the analysis for this one? Um, the distance traveled by here. The distance traveled by the car is also just equal here. This is the distance traveled by motorcycle. So as you can see here in the analysis, that the distance traveled by the car is just equal to the distance traveled by the motorcycle. So we'll have the DC is just equal to the DM. No? So what is DC? So by the way, I'll just write this down here as the distance, no? Distance, and that's equal to the velocity, which is just the velocity here, 73.333 times the time there, times t, because we don't know that time yet. And then here, this one, because this time here, kaning nga time kana siya is the same time nga magamit here, distance, and that's equal to 88 times time, diba? So kaning nga time here from this point ani hantud dira is also the same time ani from this point here padung dira, no? So that's the concept or the analysis. So we have d1 plus d2 plus 73.333 t. So dc is d1 plus d2 plus 73.333 time. Then dm is d4 plus, no, not d4 but d3 plus 88 times time. Okay, so having said that, let us try to equate this. So we're gonna equate that one. And here. So we have D1, which is 1466.667 plus D2 806.663 plus 73.333 time equal to D3. How much is D3? Here. Where is D3? 484. 484 plus 88 times the time. So we have here the time, but this is not the time nga na-elapse niya ha. This is the time to overtake from kani na reach niya ang maximum. So na reach niya ang maximum velocity. So later on we're gonna finalize everything. So the time here is 140 or 1466.667 plus 806.663 plus 73.333 times the time equal to 484 plus 88 times the time, and we have the time 121.997 seconds. Okay, here the total time elapse to overtake, let's call that as t, is equal to t plus 11 seconds. Why? Because this is the beginning phase of the motorcycle until na iyang ma-overtake ang car. So, therefore, we're gonna add this as 11 and t here. No? So, this is Kanaday. This is t1. Okay, so this is 121.997 seconds plus 11 seconds. So the total time is 121.987 plus 11 is 132.997. 132.997 seconds, or pila na ka minutes. We're gonna divide it with 60 minutes here. And then divided by 60 seconds rather. So that's 2.217. So that's 2.217 minutes. There. So that's one of the final answers. The second answer is here. And the total distance traveled by the motorcycle in that time. So that's D3 plus this one. No? So total distance is D3 plus 88 times time, or that would be D1 plus D2 plus 73.333 times the time. Okay, so we're going to check kung sakto ba sila. So let's start with the D3. How much is D3? That's 484 plus 88 times 121.997. And then the other one is this one. Ato sang isolve. That's 484 there, plus 88 times 121.997. That's total distance. 11219.736 feet, or kung gamiton ni nato pilakha. So that would be D1, which is, how much is D1? 1466.667 plus D2 806.663, then plus 73.333 times time nga 121.997. So total distance. So the total distance is 1466.667 plus 806.663 plus 73.333 times 121.997. So that's 11219.736 feet. So if you're not comfortable using the feet distance, then you may also convert that to miles. So anyway, in 1 mile na naman tay equivalent nga kuan mo man na siya. 1 mile equivalent to feet. Okay, so ato na lang i-convert. That is to be divided by 5280. That's 2. This is 2.125 miles. So this is 2.125 miles. Right, that's it for this example.